Okay, and we are live. Okay, welcome to the first live stream from UTS Startup Central. I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm checking that my microphone is on. Okay.
We're all on.
Yep.
This has been years in the making to actually have an event space where you can have good stuff happening and people can actually see it. I've run a lot of event spaces, and it's nice to have 50 people in a room, 100 people in a room, but seeing really good content in those things and then thinking, okay, this could help a whole lot more people that it doesn't get to, is what this space is meant to fix. So if you're watching at home, thank you very much, you're part of that. Hopefully you can hear me okay. But we'll see how we go. So, I'm Murray Hubbs, Director of Entrepreneurship for UTS. This session is about entrepreneurial confessions. So entrepreneurs that I respect a lot, that's talking about what they actually did, what they actually got, so that other people starting out have a chance of actually starting out well as well. Cryptospend.
Yes.
Is freaking amazing. Okay? So
Thanks,
it genuinely is. You look at banks in Australia, maybe especially in Australia, but all around the world, and you think, okay, these are things that have to exist. We have to, and have always existed. And then I see Cryptospend and think, maybe they don't have to exist. And obviously crypto by itself is an enabler of that, but you've managed to make that something I can use every single day in a way that blows my mind. So, I've kind of spoiled your introduction, but do you want to talk for a second about what Cryptospend actually is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cryptospend is the bridge between traditional finance and cryptocurrencies. So what my co-founder Andrew and I set out to do is make cryptocurrencies easy to understand, to make them spendable, Cryptospend, and really just kind of make this a one-stop shop for all things crypto.
Okay, beautiful. So that sounds good, but so you started in 2018.
Yep.
Who were you both before starting Cryptospend?
So we were both uni students. I was working at the Iconic in a warehouse, and I was doing a double degree here at UTS. And you were?
I was working at Westpac as an IT trainer, and I was studying IT in business and data analytics.
Hang on, so working, studying, launching a startup,
The joys of
all
life.
at the same time.
is
Yep.
sleeping?
Little of it.
Okay, so
We got it. We got sleep.
yeah, you must have eventually, but what are your earliest memories of the Cryptospend idea?
So it basically started when, during the 2017 bull run. So crypto in 2017 had a bit of a bull run. And I was sort of playing around with it, trading different coins, and it sort of just occurred to me that crypto is like more of a commodity rather than a currency, right? And because I'm sort of bit tech savvy, right? So it came sort of naturally to me. But then a lot of people, it doesn't really come natural to, right? So I thought there's nothing really out there that makes this easy and usable and brings it to the real world, because then a lot of people, well, at that time, even now actually, people were like, oh, it's just fake internet money, right? But then now, fast forward to now, you're able to use it on a card just like you are normal money.
Okay, so it's one thing to have that as an idea. Like, raise your hand if you had crypto at any point. Okay, raise your hand if you wish you had crypto in like 2013. Yeah. But everyone thinks, okay, it would be nice to spend that. What triggers you both to start thinking, I'm actually going to do something about this?
Well, I've always been, or actually we both have been people that just like to do things and sort of make things happen, right? So then I just kept thinking about it, and it was just always in the back of my mind. I just thought to myself, why don't I do anything? Why don't I do something about this? And this was actually when UTS Startups was just at the beginning. And then shortly after I got this idea and started networking a bit, I met Richard actually at uni in a uni class, in an IT class. I think the teacher actually asked, "Does anyone have
Have a
any
startup
have
idea?"
a startup idea?"
Yeah.
This is back in 2018, and I put my hand up and told her about it, and that really got Richard's attention. And
Talked to Andrew after class.
yeah,
And then we caught up a few times and asked Andrew, how's it going? He said, yeah, just networking around at the moment. And I said, I want in. That's it.
it wasn't as simple as that, but that's the
Long story short.
Long story short, that's sort of how it went.
But it's interesting, like this talking about an idea. Like everyone, the first time they talk about an idea is like, I have this like bad idea, don't tell anyone, blah, blah, blah. But then you talk about it some more, other people give you a response, some feedback, you kind of tweak the idea a little bit, you get more confident if people are responding well. Do you think talking to other people about it was part of that commitment you ended up making?
Yes, but looking back on it, people aren't going to tell you to your face that it's a bad idea, right? Especially if you tell them it's your idea.
And
Yeah.
it's family and close friends.
And it's family or
they don't want
close
to hurt
friends,
your feelings.
you know, or even someone that you've just met, right? If you just ask them the idea, what's in it for them to get on, like, make you upset, right? There's nothing really in it for them, right?
Even
it's
with
only
crypto, back in 2018, they didn't have people saying, nah, you're nuts.
we did, right? But then you're going to get a skewed response, right? Because especially if you're going to people telling them it's your idea, right?
Yeah.
But then looking back, right, you're probably better off saying to someone, oh, this is someone I know's idea, what do you think of it, right? Don't tell them it's your idea, because then they're not scared to tell you how they really think.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
That's a way of getting true opinions. That's
Yeah.
good. Why did you think this was worth pursuing? Like, it's one thing to think, okay, I know this is a need, but did you think it was going to be something big, or did you just want to solve your own problems?
I think having something for yourself, having something for your own, is really fulfilling. I think Andrew and I both like to innovate, we both like to create, and we both like to, kind of work on something that is our own. I think that's something that really started it for us, is that, we had a vision, we had a goal, and it's a matter of, okay, where do we start with this? How do we make this happen? And then just based off our personalities and how well we got along with each other, it was like dominoes. And as the dominoes fell, you might run into roadblocks, but as long as you can have that perseverance and that resilience to keep going, you find your way.
Okay. Well, take me back there. So the first year of Cryptospend, what were you actually doing?
It was a lot of finding out what we needed to do to execute on the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Rich was the only one with he had a bit of a banking background,
Yeah,
right?
experience.
He worked at Westpac, and I didn't. So Richard had a few connections that turned out to be quite useful, and I suppose, what would you say it's more about?
Building the foundations of the business, really discovering and getting an idea of what it's going to be about. Because you have to set up an ABN, you have to set up a logo, a company name. You've got to do all these things, which actually take a lot more time than you think, especially if you've never done it before. Then you have to think about certain legal things, particularly for us. You had to go into the legal side. You had to go into, what do I actually need to make this work? Do I need money, or can I just bootstrap the idea until it's profitable? So, it's figuring out all these things in that first year that are really crucial for the business.
So
It's the business side and then the tech side as well. So Richard more works on sort of the business operations side, and I sort of work more around the tech side. So
Complementing skills.
yeah, complementing skills pretty much. We've got a couple of people in the team that have really helped us achieve that, particularly in the early stages as well. And yeah, just getting the right people together and the right team is really integral.
Okay. So did you feel like you knew what you were doing? Or did it feel like every time you're figuring out the next thing and just constantly learning as you do?
I feel like there were times where we pretended to know what we were doing when we had no idea what we were doing. Like you head into it head first, and then suddenly you go, oh, I actually have no idea what to do here. So there's been a lot of late nights staying up, really researching and discovering what we needed to know to execute on the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So figuring out, know your customer, anti-money laundering.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
all
lot in
these other
compliance,
things.
a lot in regulation, a lot in like KYC.
Okay.
Yeah, know your customer.
Well, we've read that front to back. We've got a good legal team behind us as well that's done that's done our policy, so we make sure we're compliant. But yeah, back in the early stages, just as starting up, I feel like a lot of it is feeling your way.
But a lot of people that look at this kind of company and say, I need people with a banking background or whatever to get this done. Do you think like having a smaller banking background was a useful thing in pursuing this? So you were less kind of scared of what you didn't know or couldn't do?
Not necessarily. I'd say it was more my age. You know, I was still very young and naive. So, you know, I was a lot more risky with what I did and what I kind of wanted to do, which is kind of the perfect opportunity to get into a startup in general, never mind a startup like this, which was in that finance sector. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think being younger is a wonderful thing. Because you just figure out a whole bunch of reasons not to do stuff as you get older, or you're given reasons.
Yeah.
And we see this in UTS startups all the time, that like the gender ratio is a lot better in the people that we're supporting. The diversity of people that we support is a lot better than the general population of people. It's a wonderful thing to start these companies when you're younger and fearless and able to do things that people older find reasons not to do. I love that.
I definitely agree. Especially when it's not just the age factor as well. Well, as in when you get older, you take less risks. There's a reason for that. When you're younger, right, you don't, well, generally, you're still under your parents' roof. You don't have a mortgage to take care of, so you can sort of live with not much money. You're probably not married or have any kids, right?
Yeah.
So then when you're older and you go and take these risks and you quit your day job and you start working on, you know, you're also risking your partner, your kids, you know,
Your house.
Your house.
Yeah.
But then
We're breathing down each other's necks all the time for it.
And we are back. Okay, we will download and re-upload this with that part cut out, but thank you people watching. We still have people watching. Hang in there for that dropout. Okay, where was I? I'm going to ask a couple of questions to start to finish up, and then we'll throw to audience questions properly. But thank you very much for hanging in there. Enabling technologies. I like entrepreneurship, but I like tech-enabled entrepreneurship more, like this, because of what it enables, and like Exhibit A. What kind of technologies have enabled what you're doing now? And why, therefore, is it the right time to be doing this?
So enabling tech is obviously cryptocurrency itself. So we actually are based on-chain, so then people can deposit funds from external. They don't have to buy crypto from us, so they can deposit Bitcoin, for example, onto Cryptospend. So then we are basically plugged into the blockchain ourselves for the cryptos that we support. And we can basically see on-chain when someone's deposited, right? And send crypto out as well. So it's basically a full functioning crypto wallet, and that's just basically what links it to the card. In terms of other enabling technologies, cloud, we're based on AWS. Everything's serverless. So we've got very high availability and a really good ability to make it modular. So everything part of the app and the platform has a component. So if we need to work on something, we don't have to take the whole system offline. Right? We can just change that part quickly without taking the rest of the platform down. And that's a lot of older companies are, monoliths, right? So then whenever they have maintenance, they take down the whole platform. But with us, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's also with third-party technologies as well. So, recent advancements in KYC and or know your customer certainly allow us to build a more robust, easy product for customers to use.
Well, like for example, facial recognition. We use that with one of our partners for KYC and fraud prevention. So then basically when you KYC for the app, it will make you take a selfie, and then it matches that selfie with your ID, and then it does that to make sure that you haven't stolen someone else's ID and tried to pretend as them. And then it'll also detect if you're taking a photo of a screen, if you're taking a photo of actually a photo of someone, or trying to upload a photo from your camera roll. You can't do that either, right? So then it's got like a liveness test. So then that sort of reduces our fraud as well.
Because that's the thing, like crypto's been around for as long as it has, but it's things like that that enable you to do this more easily now when before it would be a nightmare.
Yeah, and of course, we have to remain compliant, right? So then these are the sort of things, that's why you're mainly seeing these sort of cards come out now, because the tech behind crypto has just caught up to what you need to be regulated by AUSTRAC with anti-money laundering and counterterrorism financing.
Okay, interesting. So the regulatory side of things, the timing is kind of good in terms of them being open to this kind of thing, and the technology side to address the regulation, particularly in Australia, but also all around the world.
Correct. Since we started this in 2018, the tech, the regulation and the compliance has all kind of moved in conjunction to allow us to kind of both pivot but also launch the products that we have the way that we have. So, you know, when we initially set out with the initial vision of having this crypto card program, we couldn't do it based on, you know, the tech that was available to us, but also the regulation and compliance behind it all. You know, we couldn't find anyone to help us with this. So the more that that's evolved and grown, and the fact that we've been able to grow and adapt with it has given us the opportunities that we needed to come out with our crypto card.
Okay, beautiful. So on that point, you're 4 years in. What does Cryptospend look like today?
So where we started, 2 kids in a university class. Where we are today, we are a functioning crypto app which allow our users to buy crypto, send crypto in and out, so it functions as a crypto wallet. We're plugged into the new payments platform, or NPP, so it allows our users to cash out to their BSPN account number, Pay ID, or pay their BPay bills instantly. And as well as that, we have our Cryptospend Visa card. So we launched this late last year, which we're very happy about. This kind of means a lot to us because this was our initial vision. So yeah, that's where we are today. And you know, we got lots of plans for the future as well.
And like crazy adoption, like the numbers of new people signing up and getting their own credit cards with yourself. In the short time they've actually been live with it has been kind of ridiculous. Yeah,
in the thousands, for sure. And it's really great to see this adoption from not only people who own crypto, but people who are curious about crypto, people who want to get involved with crypto. And that's another thing that we've really wanted to position ourselves as, is being able to educate those who don't know much about crypto and kind of make them more comfortable with crypto, get more involved with crypto, and you know, just the education piece around it as well.
Yeah. Can I throw a curveball at you? Because crypto means a lot of things to a lot of people.
Yep.
And if you just say crypto, people might think of positive things or negative things.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you talk about this to people like that think about the negative sides of crypto?
I mean, it depends on what they're talking about in terms of negative, right? You know, a lot of people will come out and say, oh, crypto is used by drug dealers on the dark net, right? But in actual reality, it's not. I think there was less than, was it 0.1? I'm not sure the exact number, but it's a very low amount of transactions that happen with that, right? Cash is actually a higher proportion than actually than crypto, right?
Definitely.
So that's what I would say back to that. You know, that's one of the negatives that I could think of just off the top of my head. What else?
Energy consumption.
Again, I think it comes into how educated people are around not only crypto in general, but the different types of cryptocurrencies that there are. Different cryptocurrencies serve different purposes. So, you'll find something like Ethereum serves a completely different purpose to Bitcoin, and XRP serves a completely different purpose to Solana, for example. So it's being educated around not only crypto in general, but what these cryptocurrencies can do and the sorts of things that they can facilitate, which, when people do get educated about this, you'll find that a lot of people, first of all, become more open to it, but also kind of like what this kind of technology is doing and how it's coming into a kind of everyday market.
But it's still an emerging industry. It's emerging technology. There's no doubt about it. It's only 11 years old, pretty much. Just to talk about what you said before about electricity, F2.0, that coming out. So it's moving from a proof of work model to a proof of stake model.
Yep.
Which basically means it's going to use a lot less power than it's using now, and it's going to become a whole lot more efficient. We're talking about many times more efficient and faster than what it actually is, which means the transactions actually end up being cheaper and using less power. So rather than getting computers to solve complex algorithms to actually verify that transaction, it's using people that are staking Ethereum, right, to actually become validators, so then they don't have to show proof of work, but then they can still validate those transactions for much less power, and then it ends up being much cheaper, much faster, more efficient.
That's the thing. I think, and you know this, you have an education part to play in showing people, like, this is a new technology relatively, there's going to be good and bad things to it. You might have heard this or this, but the real truth is this and this. And for me, when I see like every second UTS student with a crypto wallet, it makes me think, okay, there's something to this, that they want something different. The banks need competition. You are able to do things with this that you just can't do in traditional kind of transactions. So that's exciting to me, and people just need to understand that a bit better.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, last question. Entrepreneurship and its impact on you. So that's Cryptospend today, but for yourselves as entrepreneurs, what's changed in you over the last 4 years?
I think, well, I can speak for the both of us, I know that for a fact, resilience, right? As you move along your startup journey, you're going to get knocked down, there's no doubt about it, absolutely no doubt about it. You're going to get naysayers. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't listen to some constructive feedback, but you're going to get knocked back many times, and sometimes hard, right? But then it's the resilience that keeps you going, and the actual not being scared of failing as well.
You're going to fail.
You're going to fail at something,
no matter which way back.
Right? I mean, the card was our original plan to come out with, but then when we started doing it in 2018, it failed, right? So we thought, let's get back to this, but for now, let's pivot to do something else. And that's part of our product offering today. And that's the payout to MPP that Richard spoke about before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we pivoted to that. We got some users based on that, scaled that up a little bit, and then released this out when the sort of technology caught up with it.
Okay, so kind of starting something before you knew all the stuff that was involved, hit the hurdles along the way, have a few chances to give up but decide not to, and then learn that, okay, if I persist in a sensible fashion, this can happen.
Correct.
And now today, you're in a position no one else I know is in terms of rapidly growing fintech user base and valuable user base as well.
Yeah.
As how old are you now?
24.
24. Feeling old, but also excited for what you can do over the rest of this. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Murray. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Murray.
No, thank you. Little call out for people watching at home. If you had to ask for anything, would there be anything that they might be able to help with?
Yeah, look, if you're interested in crypto or you're looking for another crypto app, please give us a go. We're more than open to feedback. We are building this product for our customers. We want to build a great product for our customers. So if you download the app, give us a go. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, tell us how we can make it better.
Okay, beautiful. Piece of cake. Cryptospend.com.
.au.
Or the search for Cryptospend, which everyone does now. Now, thanks for hanging in there on the stream. What we're going to do now, we're going to pause the stream here for the really juicy bit of this. We'll do audience Q&A. You can ask like the really hard questions that you guys don't want to have recorded. If you're watching at home, want to see that part of these recordings, just come and join us each Friday afternoon at 3:30 at UTS Startups Central, and you get to see the really juicy parts of what we do. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Cool.